I'm Nikita, and I'm going to talk about problem solving because a lot of people talk to me about this, and I thought it's a good topic, problem solving. What This is a quote from Albert Einstein that I really like. If I had an hour to solve a problem and my life depended on it, I would use the first 55 minutes determining the proper question to ask. And this makes a lot of sense because problem solving to me comes in two steps. Firstly, identifying the right problem, and then the solving comes next. And from personal experience, as well as seeing a lot of people and understanding the whole neuroscience and biology of the brain, I know once we freak out, we tend not to focus on the right problem, but we focus on a lot of other things because we're freaking out, panicking. So determining the right problem or the proper question to ask is a great skill. And I'm going to give you a personal example to just show how coming down to the right problem can help you find the right solution. So here we go. A couple of years ago, well, a long time ago, I was invited to a wedding party. My fiance's best friend was getting married. We decided to go for the wedding, and we rented a car we went from London to Paris, rented a car from there, and drove to the wedding venue. My fiance then got quite drunk during the wedding, and when we were supposed to drive back early morning, the wedding party went on all night. Early morning, we were supposed to drive back to the airport because we only had one flight to get back home. He was in no position to drive, and I started freaking out because I had to be in London the next day. When I freak out, I tend to call my father because he's kind of my support, my mentor, my everything. I called him and I was freaking out big time. And I said to him, Dad, I have a big problem. And he's like, okay, what happened? So I said, I have to be at the airport in 2 hours. And my dad calmly asked me, okay, why is that a problem? You bought your ticket. You knew at 8 a.m. you have to be at the airport. So why is that a problem? And I said, Dad, that's a problem because Rian is drunk. Rian is my husband. I said, he's drunk. So he said, okay, so Rian is drunk and that's your problem. So you have to be at the airport. That's not your problem. I said, well, yeah, really. So he said, okay, why is Rian being drunk such a big problem? I said, well, okay, Rian being drunk is not the problem. The problem is he can't drive now. So he was like, okay, so Rian being drunk is not your problem. Your real problem is he can't drive. I said, yeah, that's the problem, Dad. He said, okay, why don't you just take a cab then? And I was like, no, I can't take a cab because we rented this car at the airport and we have to return the car back at the airport. So he was like, okay, so Rian can't drive is not the problem. The problem is that you need to return the car. And I was like, yes, that's the problem. So he said, why is that a problem? Why don't you drive? I was like, no, I can't drive. I can't drive. He said, okay, the car is no longer a problem. The problem is you can't drive. I said, yes, that's the problem. Then he went, okay, but why is that a problem? Because you've got a driving license, you can drive. I said, no, well, it's not that I can't drive. The real problem is I don't feel confident to drive a left-hand drive car on the other side of the road. I've never done that before. So I said, okay, so you can't drive. That's not true. That's not the problem. Your real problem is confidence issue, that you don't feel confident to drive a left-hand drive car. And that's coming down to the right problem. When I was freaking out, I focused on the wrong problem, which is, oh my God, the airport, oh my God, my flight. And when I could calm down, asking this 5 steps why led me to the real problem, which is, okay, the problem is I lack confidence driving a left-hand drive car because I've never done that before. How I solve that problem, I'll talk about it next time, because when you lack confidence or any problem, coming to the right solution again is the second step to problem solving. But the first step itself is determining the right problem. And there's a whole research done in this area, which is, I think, called the 5 whys to solving a problem. I'm not really sure, but this normally comes to me the way my father asks me why. And this is the whole crust of determining the right problem before you can spend your energy on trying to solve the wrong problem. So determining the right problem is what, going back to what Albert Einstein said, is the real key. Thank you. That's about it from me.
Amazing, Nikita. In fact, the way you presented was itself a very creative way to present the problem statement, and then every one of us were like, saying, "Acha, this is not the problem." Then you start packing a nice. That's also not problem. So we were actually engrossed in your communications. Really good, Nikita. Really added a lot of impact and value. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Great.